In this video, we are going to learn how to set up a virtual class using Moodle as our classroom. So first of all, you have to go into your classroom and locate a place where you want to start a virtual class. And therefore, you name it virtual class. Once you do that, you can actually click the plus button where we have add an activity. Once you open, you'll actually see the activities. So under activities, you will select the big blue button. The big blue button is a command in Moodle, and therefore you add. Once you click add, it will take you to the page where you're going to set up your class, and therefore you have to give your virtual classroom name, and you have to set the dates. And if you also would like to send a notification, if you would want to notify your students of the class, of the virtual class, you have to check in the box to send notification. Therefore, you can actually give the class description or the description of your class. At the same time, you have to schedule. You have to schedule your class. Give it a date and a time for the meeting, so that your students will actually be able to join your class once they receive the notification. Once you set this, you have to save. But once you save, now the students actually on the classroom page, they'll actually see the conference room is ready. You can join the session now. And therefore, once they log in, they can just click join session once the schedule for the meet is on. So after joining, it will take you to the slide page. And therefore, you will see two options. That is the microphone and listen only. So for the microphone, you can join using the microphone because you'll have to talk, especially when you are a teacher. But when you are a student, you can select listen only because you're going to be a listener. In that case, you can just pick the earphone. But for a teacher, you have to select microphone. It's because you're going to present and definitely you are going to talk. So once you click the microphone, it will ask you to allow the microphone echo testing. So once the testing is complete, it will take you to the presentation page, or you have the slide page, and it tells you to welcome to the big blue plan. So you can actually go to the next slide where we'll have a whiteboard. So the whiteboard is now a place where you can actually do your presentation. You can as well write on the whiteboard, because on the right, you can see the tools, the commands. We have the text tool, which you can actually use to write texts on your whiteboard. At the same time, we also have the shape tool. Under the shape tool, we can actually be able to sketch figures on our whiteboard. We also have the pencil. Apart from the shape tool, we also have the pencil tool, which you can actually use to draw freehand, and you are able to go. And at the same time, you can actually turn off or turn multi-user whiteboard off, so that you are the only person who can write on the whiteboard, especially the presenter. Because if you allow it on, if you allow multi-user on, then any student can actually write anything on the whiteboard. But for purposes of control, or putting control into your classroom, you can minimize multi-user, so that you are the only person, the presenter is the only person who can use that. You can as well clear all content on the whiteboard. You can undo or even redo, and that is why you can as well change even the font color of the whiteboard. That is what is given there. And you can as well change the font size. If you want a bigger font that is visible to your class, you can actually change So that is one command that is given also that you can select from. Now, how do you share a slide for a lesson presentation? You have to click the plus button and it will take the option to upload from your computer. Then you'll actually have to upload from your computer. You have to click next slide. As you present, you can highlight the key points as you are doing the presentation. So actually, after selecting next slide, you are able to highlight key points during presentation using the text tool. And this makes a lot of flexibility on your side as the presenter, as the students can actually see the key points being underlined. Therefore, you can also make your presentation downloadable by clicking the red icon on the upload button. Once you check in and upload, then you confirm. So once you confirm it, you'll realize that the download link will now be visible on the presentation whiteboard at the corner, where students can actually download the ongoing presentation. At the same time, you also have another option where you can record your presentation. So you can actually click the start recording on the record button, which is also available at the top of the meeting. So it gives you other options where you can actually have the keyboard shortcut. You can also have full screen. You can end a meeting. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can also visit a specific slide. Under these, you can actually minimize or even fit to page. It brings you a lot of flexibility on the size of the whiteboard that you are using during presentation. You can also visit a specific slide if you want to explain a point which is basically on a specific slide. You can just go to the option of the slides and select it directly. At the same time, you can upload an external video. If you want to share an external video, just click the plus button and click share an external video. So that's another option that you can as well do if the video was not on your slide. Therefore, you can as well take a poll from students after certain slides. So you realize that once you start a poll, you can modify, you can customize your poll the way you want it to appear. And you can even ask a question during presentation. Is my session interesting or is my presentation boring? And then you click start a custom poll. So once you start a poll, students actually will be able to participate in your poll, and you'll be able to see the poll results on this page. And therefore, if you want the poll to appear on your slide, you can publish the poll results. So once you publish, actually, the students are now able to see the poll results on the slide page. So you can also start a public chat. So you can actually write anything so that you have public chat with everyone on the left side. And we have several options even for specific chat. If you want to have a chat directly with someone, with a specific person, like in this class, we only still have one user. So you just go to the options, and therefore you begin a private chat by an individual. You begin a private chat with an individual. So on the same settings, we can also have other options where you can clear all status icons. You are also able to mute all users. You are able to save users' names. You are able to lock viewers. You are able to have all these options that you see here on the same settings. And at the same time, at times you may want to divide students in groups. so that they discuss questions in groups. So you create breakout rooms. So once you create the breakout rooms, you'll see the page where we have number of rooms. So it is upon you to decide on the number of rooms depending on the number of your students. And you also have to decide or determine the duration that these students are going to take in your discussion. So when you look at this page, we have like now I've created 4 rooms, but in this case, we still have 1 user in the classroom. But if you had several other students, you'll actually see all their names listed in this page, in this box here. And therefore, you are able to select students for particular rooms, or at the same time, you can randomly assign them. Actually, when you look at the top, there's the blue randomly assign, so that it randomly selects students automatically into your classrooms, so that students are divided in groups to participate in a discussion within a particular period. At the same time, you can also share your notes. You can share your notes. You just click on the left side, share notes, where the notes can be shared in HTML version or plain text. So it is upon you. You can as well even export. So that is another command that you can use. So thank you very much.